welcome back to Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. This is Unit 2, The Roots of Our Culture. I'm Miss Fleming, here with you for this course, and this is Section 5, Lesson 3, on European Immigration. Video 1 for the lesson is specifically on English and Irish immigrants. Now, before we begin to learn more about European immigrants, I would like for you to ask yourself the following questions. Do you know your family's ancestry? And do you know the countries of origin that are represented in your community? The reason why I ask this is because unless your family or your community population is Indigenous, your country of origin is not Canada. We tend to forget this sometimes because we see ourselves as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians or Canadians, but the thing is, for your family's ancestry, this is not your place of origin, unless, of course, you are Indigenous. The European population of present-day Newfoundland and Labrador comes almost entirely from England and Ireland, with a small but significant immigrant population from the Channel Islands, Scotland, and France. Today, many Newfoundlanders and Labradorians can trace their ancestry back to immigrants in the late 18th to early 19th centuries. Settlement here by these peoples came from merchant influence, opposed to individual choice. Unlike in other areas of present-day North America, where people arrived for more opportunities and a better life, immigrants here were brought over by merchants to work for them. This image from Petty Harbour is from that time period. It's the late 1800s. You can see the houses climbing up the hill there, the fishing stages, and the merchant buildings, and the ships and schooners in the harbour. Petty Harbour is part of St. John's now, but it was a separate municipality. So let's talk about English immigrants first. There were several push and pull factors that drew people here. What are push factors, you may ask? Well, they are circumstances that push people away from their country of origin or their area of origin. The push factors for English immigrants were low wages, boredom, and poverty. Pull factors are circumstances that pull people to a particular location. The pull factors for English immigrants were adventure, good wages, and freedom. We have already learned about the merchant, planter, and servant factors that led to English settlement. These events continued to contribute to English immigrants through the 18th century. As Britain's demand for fish increased, more employment opportunities existed for people to move here. And as settlements grew, other professions and institutions required employees, such as churches, schools, and the court system. Now, what about Irish immigration? Well, there was a similar desire in Ireland to escape hardship, especially after a series of crop failures in the 1730s and 40s. Also, as the population increased, subdividing land owned by families became more difficult. Workers were recruited by West Country ships, as Irish labour was seen as a cheaper commodity to exploit than English labour. I wanted to highlight this image here, which could be from pretty much anywhere in Newfoundland and Labrador, but the thing is, it's not. This is an image from the Irish countryside. The thing is, for many Irish immigrants, the topography here reminded them of home. By 1770, there were approximately 4,000 permanent Irish residents. Most Irish immigrants were Roman Catholic, and unfortunately faced backlash and created tension with English Protestant rule. For much of the 1700s, they were prohibited by law to practice their faith, and many priests worked in secret. But once Governor John Campbell gave permission for Roman Catholics to practice their faith, a Catholic church was built in St. John's in 1783, and this is an image of that church and the residence attached to it, which was run by Bishop O'Donnell. Now it's time to continue to the next video. Now remember to take a break before you continue if you need one. Rest your eyes, look away from the computer screen, have a stretch, and I'll see you in the next one.